My name is Zach Hunter. Everyone calls me Southpaw. I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina. When I was like 9, I specifically remember this one time I was in the car and we were headed to Orlando, like me and my mom and my brother. This guy on a motorcycle passed by and he had his full arm tattooed. And that was kind of like the aha moment of like first time seeing tattoos and sparked my interest in it. Me and my buddy were hanging out in his garage and his older cousin gave me my first tattoo when I was 14 on my thigh. And I remember like him doing it and just thinking, I could do that. Like I could probably do that better than he's doing it. That set it all off from there. Started making homemade machines. I took apart my mom's VCR player and stole the motor out of it, put everything back together so she wouldn't realize that I took it. And I just told her that it was broken. Tattooing my friends and tattooing my legs. And my family thought I was nuts when I was a kid just because of how obsessed I was with tattooing and the tattooing culture and stuff like that. So I started tattooing professionally. I was doing pretty good at a street shop. Things were running smoothly. June 17th, me and my best friend decided that we were going to take a drive up to Raleigh to go tattoo some of our friends and to go hang out for my birthday. And my buddy looks down at his phone for a split second. We run off the road, we overcorrected, hit a guardrail doing about 85 miles an hour.
To a developing story, the highway patrol is searching for a guy who crashed his car right there on I-40, leaving his teenage passenger with serious injuries.
The car flipped about 4 or 5 times and landed on its back.
And crashed right there into the median wires. His 18-year-old passenger's arm was severed by those wires.
I was able to get myself out of the car, but when I looked down, my arm was gone, completely severed, and there was just blood everywhere. A big moment of panic happened, obviously, and I was in extreme shock and was just confused because one second you're driving down the road, the next second your arm's missing. When everything actually settled in and I knew what happened was probably 2 days after all the surgeries were done, and I finally woke up and I was cognitive again. I remember laying there and my mom was there, my brother. I just started crying and I was so upset and I was just so damaged from one, the accident, but two, because I was so upset that the fact that I lost my one thing that I love more than anything in the world, which is, tattooing, which is my art. It's my love. So I was so upset that I had to lose my dominant arm and it crippled me, and I was just in my head, I'll never tattoo again. That's what everyone thought, including myself. So I just wanted to die. The accident happened when I was 19. I'm 22 now. So in those 3 years have been a complete roller coaster ride. It became real at one point when my drawings started to finally come to again. They started to finally make sense. And I thought to myself, maybe I can actually do this. Maybe I can actually tattoo left-handed. So I kind of just went for it. A lot of my friends let me do my first tattoos on them, left-handed on their legs, and slowly but surely started getting better and better and better. It just took time and a lot of practice and a lot of hard work and a lot of long nights of frustration, and it was so difficult to do everything left-handed when it came to my art. It became very disheartening. Been doing it for so long with my right hand, transitioning to my left was just very mentally taxing. Where I'm at now is leaps and bounds as to where I was 2 or 3 years ago. So I'm just stoked for the future. I get asked all the time, how do you tattoo? Wasn't it hard for you to readjust? Wasn't it hard for you to switch hands? And I always tell people, no, it actually wasn't hard for me to learn how to tattoo because that's what I love to do. That's my passion. That's the only thing that keeps me sane. What was hard was to learn how to brush my teeth one-handed, to learn how to bathe myself one-handed, to learn how to tie my shoes one-handed, to learn how to eat one-handed. I mean, everything. Those were the hardest things to learn. Losing my arm was the best thing that ever happened to me. And yeah, it was terrible, it was tragic, it was painful, emotionally, physically, it was terrible. But the end result was, it made me who I am as a person. I would probably be running with the same kids I was running with, doing the same stuff I was doing, not progressing as a person. When you almost die, and when I say almost die, when you really almost die, when you're at the edge of death and you look death in the face, if you're able to come out of that, which fortunately I was, your perspective changes. The days that you have become a lot more important. I'm actually really grateful that I learned that lesson because now every day I wake up with a purpose. My biggest goal is to motivate others and to give others inspiration, and not in a corny way, and not in a false way, because I see so many motivational speakers and they have all these incredible things to say, but they're just just words. I want to be able to give action and maybe inspire someone in a different way. So the name Southpaw came from a good friend of mine named Miles. He started calling me Southpaw, and I never understood what that meant or why he called me that. So I was like, why do you call me Southpaw? He said, well, boxers who are left-handed are called Southpaws. So that's where the name Southpaw came from. And I'm the true definition of a Southpaw now, so the name just kind of stuck, and I've just kind of gone by that now. The fact that my name is associated with Bishop now is legitimately a dream come true for me, because I've always loved what they stand for and the product that they carry and just who they are as people. My name is Southpaw, and I am Bishop Rotary.